like the Atlantic and I'm going down like the Titanic.
I can't believe
Like the
this is my
Atlantic
life,
and I'm going down
and it is
like
kind
the
of crazy.
Titanic. It's blue like the Atlantic and I'm going down like the Titanic. It's blue like the Atlantic and I'm going down.
Alright, so a lot of people have done it. I'm going to do it now. I'm doing it just to pass the time until I get like the skit for the new what if I'm going to do. Uh, this could only be one episode, maybe two. I don't know. It just depends on how many of you guys watch and like it. I don't really know. But without further ado, this is what if Deku was basically cursed with the sin of pride. Alright. As you can tell, I'm not very enthusiastic to do this due to the fact that it's already been done before. But I mean, I might as well, right? Yeah. Okay, so this story actually starts off a little bit differently. It starts off around the time that Escanor dies in the... Well, spoilers, sorry. It starts off around the time where Escanor dies. For those of you who have not watched it, I advise you not to watch it. I advise you don't do it. He dies in, Seven Deadly Sins. Now, the sin of pride basically gets passed on to another individual. But the thing is, it travels multiversal in this what if. The multiverse theory is the theory where there are multiple universes, all differently. So, Seven Deadly Sins is where Britannia, you know, actually kept ruling all throughout history. So that's how that happened. And modern day Japan is where, but everyone has superpowers. Is where everyone well, quirks is the My Hero Academia multiverse. Now, during this time, a little boy is born, and I'm going to say that the curse of pride can only go to an individual who is not tainted. Now, a tainted is someone who either has a mutation with their body or a mutation with their blood or their cells, their molecular DNA. So everyone would be a tainted technically. A lot of the things would stay the same, but except for the fact that Deku would have a strange little mark on his shoulder when he was born. His mother would think that it's a birthmark. His father would think, it's also a birthmark. But the doctor says that this shows traces of a warmth type substance. And they think that Deku already activated his quirk at a young age, as he was first born. So they wonder what his quirk is going to be, and they label it heat wave because he's emitting the heat from his body. Now, when they take Deku from the hospital and he's exposed to direct sunlight, they start to see that the fat on their baby starts to turn into a little... I'm not going to say a little muscle. No, he gets hotter to hold. And the only person who can hold him is the doctor, because I'll say that the doctor has a sedative quirk, and this also sedates his hands from feeling. So he'll do anything to take care of a baby. They take him back, do some more tests, and they find out that his quirk they actually label it heat wave this time. And they're just wondering how could he manifest the quirk so easily, so fast. What is the limits of his quirk? And yeah, so some of the stuff still happens. Well, a lot of things change actually. See, I'm going to change some stuff. I'm pretty sure someone's already changed it like this, but I'm going to change it too. Because a couple of My Hero Academia fights happen at nighttime. Oh, actually. Okay, I know how I'm going to do this. Sorry, I know how I'm going to do this. There's two sides of the Sin of Pride. I'm going to do it like this. There is solar supremacy, what Escanor has, and then I'm going to say there's lunar supremacy. So, lunar supremacy is where he absorbs moonlight. And it's not really hot, it's more cold. So, just stick with me, stick with me. So the years go by, and they have realized that Deku needs to stay at, he needs to be more active at dawn. Because if he's active at dawn, then both sides of his quirk are, sedated. They don't know what happens at night. Sorry, I'm tired. They don't know what happens at night. And he's not going to show it yet. But one day, Deku decides to go out during the nighttime because Bakugo also wants to play. He met Bakugo. Bakugo, says, wow, you have a strong quirk because yours manifested in you as a kid. And Bakugo is just, thinking, hey, I want a quirk just as strong. And he does get it. In the form of explosions, yeah, he gets it. So one night, Deku decides to go outside and play with Bakugo. They're going to play in the line because Bakugo was staying over there now. And as they're playing, Deku looks up at the moon. And he just feels his body start to radiate coldness, calmness. Cold and calmness, really. And as it does, Bakugo starts to see Deku get bigger and bigger. Not like he's aging or like Escanor does. No, he starts to see him get like just buffer. And he runs in the house and tells Deku's mom, tells Inko. And Inko is just like, oh, well, maybe we should take him to the hospital tomorrow. And they do. And it's found out that his quirk also activates at night. So now Deku has to stay in mainly dawn. So years go by, Deku actually learns how to suppress the energy that is inside of him. I'm sorry, I know I'm skipping over a lot of stuff, but I just want to get to certain parts. Like, first day. So Deku is able to suppress it all within his body. And it causes him the same effects as it does Escanor. But I'll say that solar supremacy causes him to get like taller and buffer, while lunar supremacy causes him to get buffer. And at night, the tattoo changes location on his body from his right arm to his left arm. And when it comes morning, it goes back to his left arm. So, yeah. Oh, and Deku will be able to do some special stuff with this. But you'll get to that eventually. So, everyone asks, everything happens the same, except Bakugo doesn't make fun of Deku because he wants to go to UA. Bakugo actually thinks that Deku is one of the main candidates for UA. And they don't have necessarily a rivalry or a bully relationship. It's more like they find each other as equals and they're sparring partners. They never try to get ahead of each other, but they always sorry, I had to pause the video. They're just basically on equal terms. And everyone's like, whoa, we want to be just like Deku. Now, he does have a personality shift. Yes, major personality shift. That is one of the main things that makes the curse of pride so wonderful. Because you can't have the curse of pride if when the power activates you're not prideful. So listen. Basically when it's daytime, his personality is like, I'm not gonna say like Escanor's, but it's cocky. It's cocky because he knows he can bag it up. But then when it's nighttime, oh, that's a different level of, ooh, you guys will find out. So everything happens the same, except All Might doesn't save Deku from the sludge villain, and the sludge villain doesn't make it out of there alive. See, the sludge villain attacks Deku because he's on his way home. Deku is in the shade, but Deku jumps back when he senses that the sludge villain is about to attack. Sludge villain says, "Boy, you have a nice fitting body. You should let me hijack it for a quick minute. Don't worry. The only consequence it'll be, or the effect it'll have on you is death, perhaps." And Deku just, starts to laugh and says, "You really think that you, a mere ball of sludge, can stop me? Who decided that?" Yup, classic. Who decided that? I love that. So, spoiler alert, for those of you who don't know who the One is a form of Escanor that can basically manipulate all of his ability, all 100% of his power at will. So, Deku will do an iconic move. Oh, and they realized what it was called, like what the Deku named his own quirk after he went to go get checked out, and he named it Solar Supremacy, and he named what happens at nighttime Lunar Supremacy. So he technically has a half and half quirk. Yeah. So Deku channels his the Solar Supremacy into his fingers, and he swipes down. And the sludge villain just begins to instantaneously incinerate, saying, "It's so hot! It's so hot! Help me! Help me!" And then Deku just looks at the sludge villain and says, "Huh, do you really think that I'd help you? After you said you were so cocky and prideful. You think that I can stop this at this point in time? Huh. I'm the only one who decides that. And I didn't decide it." And then he slashes one time, incinerating the sludge villain for good. All Might appears and he asks what happened here. And Deku just responds, "Well, oh, you're All Might. That's amazing. I had to deal with a little ruckus that I just had, but it's nothing." All Might then asks, "Hey, did you see a sludge villain anywhere by chance?" And 100%, Deku just says, "Oh, that was the little thing that I had to deal with. I incinerated him." All Might is just looking speechless. Incinerated? Incinerated, you say? And Deku is just like, "Yes, but according to the hero law, if you are attacked by a villain, then you're able to use your quirk to defend yourself, right? And this is my quirk." As Deku begins to store the energy and try to buff down. He buffs down a little bit, and All Might then realizes he's just nothing more than a high school kid. Because Deku looks like a grown man. He's buff. He looks like muscular. Yes. He's that buff. And All Might says, "You do know it's illegal to use your quirk in public, right?" And Deku then states, "If I didn't control my quirk 100% of the time, the city would be destroyed, right?" And this shuts All Might up. I'm gonna leave the video here. It's been 15 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed. Just let me know if you want me to do a part 2. If not, then I'll just do what I'm supposed to. But with all due respect, stay pervy.
Morning,